Hi everyone, welcome to What Is series. Today we are going to talk about social engineering. In this video, I would like to introduce you the definition of it and some techniques of social engineering and also some histories as well. By the end of these videos, I hope that you could increase your interest of this topic and you will be willing to pay more attention to this in your daily life. Okay, so let's start. Episode 1. What is social engineering? What is social engineering? You may have already heard these terms in a lot of movies and novels. In the movies, you could see hackers and secret agents stealing some secret message and decode them. You may have also seen they entering the building like there's no camera, even actually there is. And also they have some fake identities. They pretend they are others to steal information or just get access to some facilities. But come on, it's a movie. It can't be real, right? The answer is no. Imagine, one day you were hacked by a stranger. He got your name, your address, your phone number, and even your credit card number. And the only thing you have done is not turning your phone screen off while you left the seat for nice coffee. Yeah, I know. It sounds ridiculous and unrealistic. But hey, let me tell you, it's real. And it happens every day. Social engineering hacking can happen at any time. Every time you open an email with unknown resources. And every time you throw away a piece of paper which has your eBay account and password on it. And even every time you open the office door for others, every time you perform these actions, there are chances you get hacked. According to Wikipedia, social engineering refers to a kind of psychological manipulation of people into performing actions or divulging confidential information. In other words, besides computer techniques, social engineering is focusing more on exploiting human weakness. The human weakness includes curiosity, laziness, and of course, the greed. With them, the hackers could successfully persuade or mislead people to perform specific actions or give away their personal details. So what are the techniques hackers could use? The techniques could be separated into two categories: human-based and computer-based. Human-based techniques doesn't include much computer techniques such as programming and internet professions. It focuses more on human behaviors. It focuses on how people interact with others, and oftentimes this kind of technique relies on the trust among people. For computer-based techniques, while it's still exploiting human weaknesses, it requires technical knowledge as well. For example, the hackers might need some kind of malware, virus, even fake web pages and fake IP address to perform such tricks. So, what are these tricks? The first one, tailgating. Tailgating refers to entering restricted areas simply by following someone else. We all know there is a delay of closing the door when someone has already opened it. And that is the moment when hackers enter the facilities without permission of access. This kind of techniques doesn't require any kind of technical knowledge and is hard to prevent if the person who opens the door doesn't have such conscience of stopping the tailgating person. Another human-based technique is called dumpster diving. It's a simple one. The hackers dig into the victim's trash can to find useful information such as account name, password, addresses, and phone numbers. This information doesn't need to be victim's information. It could be from others. The hackers could use this information to perform other tricks such as phishing, baiting, etc., which requires understanding of specific victims. For computer-based techniques, a very common and famous one is called phishing. Essentially, the hackers will disguise themselves as a trustworthy entity. Phishing is often carried out by email spoofing. So, for example, the hackers disguise themselves as a shopping website you often use, and then they send you a fake notification email. Inside the email, the hackers will ask you for your personal details, and there is a link for you to provide them. The link leads to another web page which is also faked. However, these emails and web pages may look the same as the original ones, so you may not even notice it. There are many different ways of phishing, and it can be combined with other techniques such as baiting and recon to increase the success rate. We will introduce more details and exactly how to perform/prevent phishing in the next video. So just like what I've mentioned, baiting is a technique which is often used along with phishing. It is easy to recognize when you look at the names of them. You have a bait, then you get a fish. Baiting takes advantage of people's curiosity and greed. We are often hear people saying, "Do not pick up the USBs on the floor." But why? Because it might be a bait from the hackers. Inside the USB may contain spyware and malware, which allows the hackers to take over your computer, just like the Trojan horse. And back to the email spoofing. The hackers could disguise themselves as the HR department in your company, and then send you an email which contains a file called Salaries Changes in Next Year. And of course, you will open it. So the point of baiting is to make use of your interest to make you perform the specific actions and provide information they want. So, next time you see something very interesting and free on the internet, be suspicious. And let's look at some real cases in the real world. The first case is about RSA security breach happened in 2011. RSA Secure ID, also referring to the Secure ID, is a mechanism developed by RSA, the division of EMC. This mechanism is a two-factor authentication system. In 2011, the inside information about this system is stolen by hackers. According to the investigation documents, the hackers sent 2 phishing emails over a 2-day period. It wasn't a very well-done attack from the social engineering point of view, said by the chief research officer. The email only contained 2 short sentences. "I forward this file to you for review. Please open and view it." So it was simple. The message successfully tricked the employees into opening a malicious Excel spreadsheet called 2011 Recruitment Plan, thus creating a backdoor into the company's network. So what data was extracted actually? We still don't know. The concern is that the whole mechanism is broken. Eventually, the company spent $66 million on recovering from this incident and fixing relationship with customers. Another case is a security breach incident happened to eBay in 2014. The personal information of over 100 million customers is taken by the hackers. According to eBay, the attackers used techniques such as phishing emails and phone calls to compromise the employees to give up their security credentials, and therefore they are able to access the internal network. Over 100 employees are involved in this breach, and the information stolen contains users' account name, password, home addresses, and even phone numbers and date of birth. However, eBay claims that any kind of financial information, such as credit card number, is still secure, since they use different databases to store them. Eventually, eBay sent a notification to customers in order to urge them to change their password. Also, they strongly stated that the password used on eBay should be unique apart from the password used on other websites. Apart from cases, there are also some famous and infamous hackers we should know. Kevin Mitnick, who is known to be one of the greatest hackers along the history of cybersecurity. He has started his journey of hacking since his childhood, and during his life he has hacked into many organizations and companies such as Pentagon, Bell, Nokia, and some other telecommunication companies. According to the US Department of Justice, Mitnick has gained unauthorized access to dozens of computer networks. He used cloned cellular phones to hide his location and, among other things, copied valuable proprietary software from some of the country's largest cellular telephone and computer companies. Mitnick also intercepted and stole computer passwords, altered computer networks, and broke into and read private emails. However, he claimed that he got all the credential information purely by security engineering techniques. He was arrested later on. During his prison, he was not allowed to get in touch in any kinds of network systems, because according to Mitnick, the judges was convinced that he had the ability of start a nuclear war by whistling into a payphone. He now holds a security consulting company, works as a primary consultant, and a very famous writer who writes about his early life and articles about cybersecurity. Frank Abagnale, the master of impersonation. One of the most famous imposters, he claimed to have assumed no fewer than 8 identities, including a security guard, a physician, a teacher assistant, a lawyer, and even a pilot. While impersonating a pilot, he got the uniform, fake ID, and even a real license. He had flown more than 1 million miles on more than 250 flights and flew to 26 countries by deadheading. Abagnale stated that he was once offered the courtesy of flying at 30,000 feet. He took the controls and enabled the autopilot. Very much aware that I had been handed custody of 140 lives, my own included, because I couldn't fly a kite, he said. He served less than 5 years in prison before starting to work for the federal government. He is currently a consultant and lecturer for the FBI Academy and field offices, and his story has been adapted to a movie called Catch Me If You Can. And by the end of this video, I would also like to introduce you some public culture, which includes books and TV films. These are my favorite. If you are also interested in them, then go check them out. And if you're not, there are also other films which can be easily found on the internet. I strongly recommend The White Collar. The story is about the relationship between a highly intelligent con artist who has agreed to help FBI agent to solve white-collar criminals. Ignoring the relationship between social engineering and this film, it is still a very interesting one. So this is the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If there is any comments and suggestions, please leave it below the video, and I'll see you in the next one, in which we will be talking about fiction. Okay, see you guys.